Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
Ooh, Magnum DH, baby.
Magnum DH.
Yeah, gotta show some love to Magnum TA, one of the legendary United States champions.
Yeah, shout out to him.
That nostalgic Luger just had me in the zone, you know?
I figured we'd get something for this special episode.
Yes.
Why are we here, Don?
Well, this is going to be the Championship LookBack. I want to say the first official beginning.
I would say so, yeah. We kind of did one in the past, but this is kind of a new show for us.
Yeah. New year, new era.
Yeah, we've been keeping it real.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I like it, but this is going to be a look-back show, basically, of the United States Championship.
Yeah, we're going to talk a bit about the origins of the belt, favorite champions, memorable matchups maybe.
Memorable moments.
Memorable moments, yeah, as we do. Moments of the night. Not moments of the night, but moments of the title, I guess you could say.
Oh, yeah.
And,
favorite champs. I think you said that already.
Yeah,
but kind of basically anything to do with the U.S. Championship. This show, I mean, we can do it again. It's not like this is going to be a one-time U.S. Championship show. But, I mean, going forward, we probably will change it up and do other, whether it's WWE titles, WCW titles. I mean, this one's kind of both.
Yeah, this is a whole plethora of
this title's been around the block.
Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
Many different versions of it.
Oh, yeah. And not only, like, different companies, but different, like, actual, like you said, versions in the sense of aesthetics.
Yep.
Like the belt looking different over the years. But, yeah, we'll get into it. Before we do that, as always, don't forget, check us out on Instagram and Twitter, guys, at PWLookBack on both of those. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, hit up iTunes, hit up Podbean, Spotify, YouTube. We are on all of those. You can, give us a subscribe. Go hit the 5 stars on iTunes as well if you feel the need and you like the show. We'd appreciate that very much. Send us an email if you're old school, keeping it old school, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. I think that's everything. Or no, check out the, don't forget the keeping me strong. Younger's not here. Shout out to Younger. But the old T-shirt website, Teespring, yep. Pro Wrestling LookBack. Go to Teespring, look up Pro Wrestling LookBack. Check out some of the shirts, stickers, and all kinds of stuff we've got going on there. The website's fully up-to-dated now as well if you want to go on there and watch some of the videos. ProWrestlingLookBack.wordpress.com. Jeez, I think that's everything, Don.
And our Twitters.
Yeah.
Our Twitters. My
Twitter as well, at Salsa, SCELSA, Star Wars, Formula 1, Pro Wrestling, like I always say.
Yeah, and mine is just Don44. And don't forget, obviously, the obvious one, at PW LookBack.
Yeah, of course. And if you want to give Younger a follow as well, at ZJVY93 on Twitter. With all that stuff out of the way, the old plugs, I guess you call it here.
Yeah.
We always said we're open to ads, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. The U.S. LookBack, the Championship LookBack.
Yeah.
U.S. Title Edition, maybe we'll call it.
It's one of my favorite looking belts of all time, too, I would say, for me personally.
Is that kind of all the ones we, like, as we talked about a bit, all of the over the years, or maybe just the one that we're more accustomed to in the last 20 years?
I guess the modern day one.
Yeah.
The one that we most see from, I guess, 2003 up until now, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed minor little things throughout the years, but...
Yeah, I actually watched the video to prep myself for this about them changing minor little details.
Yeah.
Do I remember a lot of those little minor details? No.
Yeah.
But that's why they're minor details. We're going to get into more of the championships and some of our favorite stuff over the years. But we got a little DVD in the background just kind of keeping us fresh with some old school U.S. title matches playing. Shout out to Greg Valentine.
Yeah, definitely. Huge. He's going to get some love here because I'll mention it to you guys now. There's a little later, not too later, but there's going to be a top 10 list of all-time United States champions done by yours truly, and we'll get some...
Not only is that going to be happening on this show, that's going to be a reoccurring segment for the Championship LookBack Show. Donovan's top 10 champions for whatever title it is we decide we're looking back at. I figure it's only fitting, Don. I know this is kind of your ball game in the sense that you're going to steer more of this conversation. Mm-hmm. But I figure it's only fitting if we start with the first champion, no?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so?
It's good to be king.
The original king.
Yeah. Harley Race.
Yeah. We were going to play his music at the beginning, but we figured we'd give Lex a little love.
Lex is going to get a lot of love on this show for me.
Shout out to Lex Luger.
But yeah.
Harley Race. Jinx, buddy. Why don't you break it down for us there?
So Harley Race, the first ever United States champion, and this goes back to the NWA United States Heavyweight Championship, which was like technically the Mid-Atlantic version. I know he won it throughout a tournament, and we definitely want to just talk a little, give some love to Harley Race in the early going of the show here, just for being the first champion, because without that, where the fuck would we be today, right?
Exactly.
So
and a key thing, it was a heavyweight championship back then too. I know they stressed that in the name.
Yeah.
And I think we watched something together that they were talking a little bit about how this belt was kind of the belt that you would have when you could face the NWA champion, the traveling champion, as they called it back then.
Yeah, so it seems like even dating back then, it was used for like a launching pad too, to bring guys into a upper scene.
Similar to like an
intercontinental.
Sorry to cut you off, like an intercontinental title in the earlier late 90s.
Yeah, definitely. Even when it came to guys like Flair and Steamboat, I know it really took their careers to the next level. Same thing with a guy like Greg Valentine as well.
Yeah.
So I guess
Harley, did you get the date and everything on there?
The date that he won the title?
Yeah, because I had it written down as well. I figured we'd.
Oh yeah, give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, January 1st, 1975.
Whew.
So quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Quite a ways back, as they say.
Yeah. So geez, I don't know where to begin. There's so many guys and so many different things to talk about here.
Yeah, I mean, I had some key moments. I don't know, they're going to be kind of all over the place, but I had some. I want to talk about a little bit very quickly. Johnny Valentine. I wasn't too familiar with this name, but he was the second champion. So this was the guy who beat Harley Race after he had the belt for the first time. He won that on October 4th, 1975.
Okay, yep.
So not long after Harley. And he vacated the title on, when was it? I think it was later that year.
Okay.
Because he was in a plane crash. And he had a broken back. And he had to vacate the title due to a broken back in a plane crash. So I just thought that was a little...
Wow.
Yeah, one of those things like, holy fuck.
I didn't know that. I didn't
No,
know that piece of information. That's crazy.
No, yeah, I know. And I want to get the date that he vacated it. I can't remember the exact... Actually, you know what? He vacated it on the 4th, and then I think won it earlier than that. Don't quote me on that.
You know what's weird about this whole thing? And it's just a random thing I would say, but I mean, wasn't Ric Flair in his life in a infamous crash as well?
A plane crash, yes.
So it's just that's weird. And then I believe it was Magnum TA who was set to be a big star. He was being marketed as this future star and having feuds with Blanchard, and he was supposed to be a big star. And I believe I don't know for sure if it was a plane, but I know he had a life-threatening injury which caused him to retire, right? So it's just weird. That's weird.
A lot of plane crashes.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. I just
how many planes were going down in the 70s? Jesus. It sounds like a lot. But yeah, sorry. So it was Harley Race had won it January 1st, 1975.
Okay.
Johnny Valentine beat him on July 3rd, 1975, and then vacated the title on October 4th. So it was October 4th was the vacated date. I just wanted to confirm that.
Okay.
And yeah, this was it was due to a plane crash, an injury. And then I kind of read up a little bit about him, not as much about his wrestling career, more just that that crash, it took a major toll on the rest of his life, and
for sure.
Illnesses and injuries. And apparently he had a fall in 2000 that eventually led to his death. Oh. So obviously, something happened, broken this, or something happened in the fall. But, shout out to him. Well, both of them. First champions, got the ball rolling, as they say, for the United States Championship.
Did you, is there any other little early guys that you wanted to talk about a little bit more?
No, not really early. I had wrote down, again, some of the earlier times it was vacated. August 12th, 1979. So 4 years later. I mean, we can go farther back. Yeah. We can go back and forth. Yeah. I just wrote down a couple of the first times that I thought it would be cool to bring up that they were vacated. Ric Flair won the tag titles, on August 12th, 1979, and was forced to vacate the United States Heavyweight Championship, NWA United States Heavyweight Championship, due to the fact that he was the NWA Tag Team Champion.
Nice.
So I thought that was different because, I mean, that's not something we would see nowadays.
No, not at all, yeah.
We've seen Seth Rollins hold 2 titles and many people in the Attitude Era.
And I think that's a good segue here.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to just... Well, we're talking about the U.S. title. I got some interesting facts about this title and kind of from different eras and points of it, too. So, well, speaking of Seth Rollins, so this is something I wasn't aware of. So Seth Rollins and Booker T are the only 2 guys who have actually held a world title and the U.S. title at the same time.
Really? I didn't know anyone did that.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess maybe it was the WWE Championship
that
I was
Seth
thinking of.
Had the WWE and the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Booker T having the world title and the U.S. title. For anybody who's going to maybe try and correct me on it, so I am aware that Luger and Goldberg also did the same, but they instantly vacated their U.S. titles.
When they won.
Yeah.
No, and that's true. I didn't know about Luger doing that, obviously, but I did know that Goldberg vacated. That was the big Georgia Dome show, was it not?
With Goldberg, yeah.
When he beat Hogan?
Yep.
Yeah, for the world title, yeah.
So another interesting one, I don't think this has changed as of yet, but I found out that David Flair was actually the youngest to ever have the U.S. title at the age of 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
And David Flair, now, give me I don't know an elevator pitch, I guess. I don't know much about David Flair. I just know the name. How long did he wrestle? Obviously, Ric Flair's son.
Well, he had the U.S. in his run of the U.S. title, had it for 121 days. So that's still a an amount of time for more than I didn't even know that he
won a championship.
As I was looking into the title, and
was this in late WCW times?
Yeah, this was in the later
99, 2000, 2001 type thing.
Yeah,
the Jeff Jarrett days, as they say.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to classify that as.
It always reminded me of TNA. Anytime I've seen those videos.
Yeah.
Of WCW in kind of the late 90s there, that time,
mm-hmm.
it has the early TNA feel. You can definitely see why there.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what TNA was probably trying to go for. It was like a
totally
WCW.
And when you think about it, they didn't, I mean, this is a bit off topic, but they didn't have a long gap in between. I feel like TNA only started 4 or 5 years maybe after WCW folded,
mm-hmm.
if not sooner.
Yeah.
But back to the U.S. title.
Yeah, no. As far as David Flair is concerned, I personally have not watched a ton of his wrestling career. It was just so I don't want to give anything that I don't have too much on. I had no idea that he had won it at the age of 20. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, and very young. I mean, especially in wrestling, you don't see a lot of that as far as.
So I mean, in talking about the youngest, I guess we can talk about the oldest too.
Definitely,
so,
yeah. No, I like this. It's cool. You're bringing up little random facts.
Yeah.
And for anybody listening, we hope you enjoy it. This is kind of more for something these are facts you can find anywhere online, but it's more just our opinions and somewhere you can find it all in one place.
So yes, the oldest was Terry Funk.
Do you have how old he was when he won?
56.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was 56.
Do you know the year that he won it?
The year he won it I can get for you, but he held it for a total of 85 days.
Okay, so a decent amount of time.
Yeah. And as far as the year is concerned, you're going to have to give me a sec to get that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm assuming it was probably in the earlier days, no?
Yeah.
Because I know he won the belt. It's funny that we bring up Terry Funk back to what I was talking about, vacated championship. He was the first one to win it after that vacating title from Johnny Valentine. I don't think that was the same run that you're referring to as far as 85 days.
Yeah, no.
But I know he did win it in 1975. I don't know. I'm assuming he probably wasn't 56. In 1975.
So you know what? It could have been.
But either way, it's not
part of his career.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. It might have even been in WCW. I don't know if he wrestled in WCW, to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
We're more of the current, but that's why we like to look back and learn. Look back and learn. Is that the new slogan?
Terry Funk. Yeah, I can't get the exact date on that anyway.
It's all good.
I guess I'm gonna have to talk about him at some point here. So Dean Ambrose, with the
possibly the worst U.S. champion in history, up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because he's a guy who had it for 351 days.
Yeah,
a long, nice lengthy reign, which I'm a huge fan of.
You watched it all.
I watched it all in its entirety. Yes.
Live.
He won it from Kofi Kingston at an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. I believe that night it was very written in the stars too that we kind of could foresee the Shield was going to take the belts. That's when Roman and Seth also won the tag titles.
I was just gonna ask that.
So it was very like callable, I guess.
Yeah, callable.
Yeah,
you could see it happening for sure.
But yeah, man, his reign, like, we can go and watch some stuff too. Like, he might have, like, it's not that he is not a good wrestler, but just
for sure. We're not taking anything away from Dean Ambrose's character as a wrestler. It's just what he did with the championship is kind of what we're focusing on here.
And I mean, it's not his fault at the end of the day. I kind of wish that a guy like him maybe wanted to be defending it a lot more.
Yeah.
I remember it being on like fucking pre-shows against like Rob Van Dam at a SummerSlam, and
sounds familiar.
Some
current.
Some pay-per-views not even defending it, which again sounds familiar, current, right?
Yeah.
Just not a very. It's a memorable reign in the sense of where he was at in his WWE career.
Yeah. First championship he won,
and he was, out of the Shield, I guess back then he was looked at as the kind of the leader.
Which is crazy to me because, I mean, again, I didn't watch all that stuff live, but it's still, I mean, if I were to go back and watch the promos, I'm sure I'd understand.
Yeah.
More.
But, it's not one of my favorite reigns at all, definitely. He doesn't make my top 10, let's just say.
Stay tuned for Donovan's top 10.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're going to be doing that on every championship look back, so. Yeah, more little random facts about the U.S. title?
Yeah, well, I know that Steve Austin, there was a point that he lost the belt in 5 minutes.
Yeah, stunning Steve Austin,
Steve Austin, yes, I should say.
So was that on WCW, like, when they had the, like, pre-Nitro in the what the fuck was it called? Like, the studio where the ring would spin? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The visual,
I think it was at Disney Orlando or some shit like that. But the ring would spin around, and I know I've seen videos of stunning Steve, wrestling there, maybe for that belt or I'm not sure. But this was after the Hollywood Blondes?
Yeah,
because that was first.
Yeah, which I honestly think. As I was doing research and like kind of watching little clips and stuff too, he had a really good reign. Like, it's just when he lost the belt, it was quick.
So did he have the belt for 5 minutes? But that was a different reign, obviously.
That was a different reign, yeah.
So did you find out how that worked? Like, was it obviously they didn't have championship scrambles or anything like that back then, but do you know the circumstances of what took place for him to? No,
I don't exactly, because I was more focusing on his lengthier reign.
Okay, yeah, we'll go into that too.
Yeah.
I was more curious for myself.
Yeah, I'll get a little more down that roll in the top 10.
Okay.
Stuff.
Oh, with his lengthy reign.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure.
But I mean, obviously, I guess we got to talk about the obvious one, the long reign of the man himself, the intro music, Lex Luger.
Yeah, Mr. Lex.
Yeah.
He's up there with 5 title reigns too.
Yeah, him and Jesus Christ. I guess Flair had it on 6. So Flair's had it the most.
Yeah, but
Luger, yeah.
Should we get into this now? Because I got a little list.
Yeah.
I mean, and we will talk about Luger. Don't worry. But I'm just I got a list here of the guys who have won this title the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to describe it, but the way, and I'm gonna give you the list in a second. Don't worry. But to me, it's so not overdone, I guess, would be the best way to describe it.
Okay, what do you mean? Like,
there's nobody on here with 14 title reigns.
Oh, yeah.
There's nobody on here with, and there isn't 7 guys that all have double-digit title reigns.
Yeah.
It's 6, and it's Ric Flair with the most. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then it's Lex Luger with 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's John Cena with 5.
Yep.
And Booker T with 5.
Yep.
And Wahoo McDaniel, who I've never fucking heard of, with 5.
Nice. I didn't even.
You know what I mean? So it's and then it drops right down. Bret Hart with 4. Sorry, I said Booker T. I meant Benoit with 5. Booker T has 4. Steamboat has 4. Yep. And then Blackjack, Rusev, Piper, Kofi, Jeff Jarrett, Lance Storm, Kevin Owens, all with 3.
Yeah.
So it's a good collection of then and now. You've got Kevin Owens, Piper, and Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're covering, different, and Bret Hart. You're covering the 90s, the 70s, the teens now, Booker T in the 2000s. Like, you've kind of got somebody from each genre of wrestling. And like I said, there's no, like, when we do a World Heavyweight Championship look back, or a WWE Championship look back, how many, Triple H, Randy Orton, 14-time, John 16-time, I'm sure there's more. There's guys that have 9 championships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's good. I'm not complaining. This is a good thing to be looking at a championship that's this fucking old. 1975 this title was started. And I get, okay, obviously in those first 20 or 15 years, you're not going to get a lot of flipping back and forth like we do now.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that, 40, almost, whatever, I'm horrible at math, 40-something years later, the most championships is still a guy who won it in the 70s with 6.
No, I like that too. That is a really good point. Yeah, they don't overkill it with 10 or 12. Yeah.
No, and I guarantee what is Miz at 9 for the IC belt or 6?
Yeah,
might be
6.
6.
I know he's like tied or close to Jericho's.
Which is like 9, is it not?
Probably something around that.
Which again is respectable for the length of Jericho and Miz's careers, but still, it's and that belt to me isn't like, this belt has more lineage than the IC belt if I'm correct.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll find out when we do a look back show of the IC belt. I don't know where it, originated, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was something definitely worth bringing up. Do you have any thoughts on?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I like that too, and I hope it kind of stays that way. I don't need the 12-time United States champion, whoever it may be. Right?
Well, shit. I mean, Rusev only needs another 2 wins, and he's up there in second with Luger. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so
that's the crazy shit to think about.
But here's
Here's
the thing to think about that could make it good. I mean, I'm not predicting anything could happen like that or whatever, but I think with a guy like Rusev, because he's in my top 10. He's in my top 10 list.
Don't give it all away too early, Don.
No. But
we don't know
with
the number.
Rusev, if he was to, let's say, in the future go on and have an amazing, lengthy, good reign and doing stuff with the title, like, I'd be totally okay with it if he and then lost it and didn't win it ever again. Because that could happen too. I mean, I doubt it.
Well, that's if they built him up properly, and then at that point he would be challenging for the world title. You know what
exactly.
I mean? That's kind of the way. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. If anybody wants to listen to Rusev's thoughts on the U.S. Championship, go listen to Lillian Garcia's show.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you have anything?
I guess back to Lex, right? I was kind of
that's kind of. I just wanted to bring up the fact of, the less title reigns is a good thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree with that. I just not too much really. I just wanted to 523 days was the total
combined time as champion.
Yeah, and this was on his
in 5 runs.
Yeah, and this was his 3rd reign as U.S. champion. So
what?
Right? That he went on this length.
Oh wait! I thought 500 was combined.
Nope.
That's.
Yep, his 3rd U.S. title reign.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that was like a year.
That's what.
And a bit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, his 3rd reign had lasted for that. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
pretty
crazy.
I totally thought you meant combined days as champion, which would make a little more sense, but holy shit. Yeah. Good for Lex.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why he gets so much.
Well, that's why he gets to start the show with his music. That's why right there, buddy. 500 and something days, and you get to start the Championship LookBack Show.
Yeah. Classics. Well, again, we've talked about some, memorable, not so memorable. Do we have some not so memorable? I remember you were kind of talking to me a bit about it.
Yeah, I wrote down. I didn't get as much down as I thought. I thought I'd be able to get. How about? And I don't want to trash him because I love him to death. He was one of my favorites when I was a kid, and I still watch him now. Santino Marella.
I thought that's where you're going too. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably not one of the more memorable title reigns, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we saw him win the title. Was that on a look back, or was that just something me and you watched off podcast?
Well, there was a look back we watched where he won an IC title.
I'm talking with Beth.
Yeah, that was the IC.
Okay, that was the IC.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, I'm confusing.
Yeah.
But either way, like, I just know Santino's title run wasn't one of the best, let's say. And then I talked about, I know I didn't watch it, but to hear somebody win a title and hold it for as long as they did and not defend it very often, Dean Ambrose to me is one of the lower ones.
For sure, yeah.
And then I think there's a big one that might stick out to both of us as far as, lackluster champions.
Yeah.
He's the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. And one of your favorite wrestlers with all that being said. So maybe you can speak a little bit on his U.S. championship.
Good old Canadian Bret Hart.
Yeah, shout out to Canada.
For anyone who didn't know who we were talking about.
Yeah, and I don't have a Bret Hart sound effect. I got to work on that. I need a Rock. I need a Bret Hart.
And
at this point, I think I need a
Triple H. That damn good.
Yeah, I love the Triple H when we have them. It's great.
But yeah, Bret Hart. Well, he had an impressive reign in the WCW era.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm referring to the 2011 or 10 run that he had there with the Hitman hockey jersey and Miz.
Yeah, so Bret won the title from the Miz with a lot of help
from the Hart family.
Yeah, and it was a weird time. I mean, in wrestling. So that's kind of, I don't know. I'm not trying to justify it or anything. It was definitely not a good reign because I don't think he defended it. I think it was, probably vacated shortly after. Vacated shortly after. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh.
So.
But yeah, I as far as people that I was thinking of that maybe aren't some of the best champions, I don't know. There's not a lot more that stick out to me. Maybe I got one more.
David Otunga?
Orlando Jordan?
Yeah.
Not to get racy, but they both weren't good champions.
Yeah. No, not to get racy.
Because they definitely...
Booker T, actually, I think he was the second ever African-American to have the U.S. title.
Four-time champion.
Yeah.
And I feel like he kind of held the reins with that belt in, I would say, after his world championship run in 2000. I think he won it like 3 of those 4 times. Might have been between 2005, like with John Cena, and 2008 post World Heavyweight Championship. You know what I mean? Even though it's only 3 reigns, what we can tell with this belt, that is a significant amount.
Yeah.
But he feuded Chris Benoit. How about that best of 5 series with John Cena?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, to bring up, actually. Great.
The whole... Well, that's a perfect kind of segue into John Cena as the U.S. champion, who I know we're talking about... I guess we were talking about less memorable, but John Cena, to me... Excuse me, geez. Is one of the more, to me, memorable U.S. champions.
Yeah, especially, I mean, obviously, probably talking about his reign where he introduced the U.S. Open, right?
Yeah, but before we get to that, because, well, I don't know how much you want to go into John before we get into your top list for later, but maybe talk more about that later, and we'll talk about this now. I'm talking about his spinner belt, man.
Oh, really?
The introduction of the spinner belt. I liked that back in the day, and that was like right when I got into wrestling. I feel like that had just happened, or it was happening, and I wasn't watching weekly yet at the time. But he won the belt from Big Show at WrestleMania.
Yep.
And then had it for a little while. I had the list up. I can't remember now, but he had it for a bit. I think he lost... I
think he lost to your boy, man.
To Carlito.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not with the spinner belt, I don't think. I think he lost it to somebody else before then. And then I can pull it up.
I wasn't... speaking of Carlito for a little second, too, like to tie in with John Cena, won it on his first night, right? First match in the WWE.
Yeah, that I wanted to get into more of him for sure.
But yeah, I
was more curious of your thoughts on the spinner belt itself.
Not for me. Not for me. I didn't hate it. Like, but it's just, I guess, I was such a big fan of the other one that when he changed it made sense, especially at that point, early John Cena, first title, doing something new, and that kind of really establishing him as what he was going to be, I think, too, just because it's rare that you get guys like Austin, Brock, Cena, these custom belts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kind of put him in a different class of its own.
You knew?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like that kind of solidified him as like, hey, this guy's going to be something. And especially being, I was super into him at that point in time.
Well, yeah, and I was too young to pick up on something like that in the sense that, they're letting this guy have his own belt.
Yeah.
That's definitely a good sign.
Yeah.
They don't let ex-wrestler have their own belt very often. But yeah, sorry, I figured it out here. So he won the title from Big Show at Mania.
Yeah.
And then he attacked Kurt Angle, who was the general manager at the time, and was stripped of the title. And then the title was put in a 8-way elimination match that included John Cena.
Yeah.
I guess he was stripped and then allowed an opportunity to win the title back because of attacking the GM. So Rene Dupree, Kenzo Suzuki, Rob Van Dam, Bill Gunn, I don't know who the fuck that is, Charlie Haas, and Luther Reigns.
Maybe it was Billy Gunn. Maybe it was though.
Oh, it was Billy Gunn.
Oh, it was.
It was. My bad. Jeez, I was gonna say who's Bill Gunn.
His brother.
It's probably because I'm not a huge fan, and that's probably why I didn't remember. But I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So and then Booker T won that,
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
and then John Cena beat him again, or not again, but beat him in the best of 5. And then my boy, as you mentioned, that's where Carlito came in after John Cena had beaten Booker T in his second reign, where he didn't have the spinner belt. That's when Carlito came in and debuted in his first ever match on SmackDown and won the U.S. Championship.
Yes. And then that also was around that storyline with the stabbing in the club of John Cena, which I just loved.
That's
like that
crazy.
to me is a standout moment of that.
No, and bro, I kind of forgot that even happened.
Yeah.
Like that whole storyline in general. And yeah, but I wanted to say shout out just because I love him and he is one of my favorites as a kid and still to this day. After his comments recently, we don't know if we'll ever see him in WWE, but he did the same thing on Raw with the IC belt. He debuted on Raw. His first match on Raw, he won the IC belt.
Really?
So, yeah, so I always thought that was cool that on his first 2 matches on Raw and SmackDown respectively, he won the belt.
Nice. Yeah, I wasn't aware of the IC one. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, any other little things? I mean, we talked about favorite champions. We talked about kind of some of the worst champions, in our opinion, of course. The first champions. Some of the history of the belt.
Yeah.
I mean, these are, like I said at the beginning, bro. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
We're going to be able to do more of these.
Oh, totally.
There's only so much we can do in a first show, and then we'll build off this and figure out what we didn't talk about and dive more into this title. I just think that this title doesn't get enough love for what it is, and the things I talked about. It hasn't been overdone.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, I don't want to rant, but we're just here to give the title some fucking love.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
I got to just talk about Eddie for a sec, maybe, because...
Talk about that tournament, maybe.
Yeah, which one? The...
Well, for winning the belt for the first time.
Yes.
But
okay.
more go into what you were going to say first.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut
No, that's a great, little segue, too.
Okay.
So, as some people may or may not know, when the invasion angle happened, we had the... this is when the United States title got introduced to the WWE.
Which was in 2001.
Yep. And Canyon... Right, as we said.
Chris Canyon.
I don't think if we mentioned it here. We were talking about it, sorry. But yeah, Canyon was the United States champion.
And he was given the United States Championship by Booker T, who, like you mentioned earlier, callback, I'm assuming, was the United States and World Heavyweight title champion at the same time.
Exactly.
And then he just gave the belt
to
Canyon?
Yeah,
Weird.
And I kind of feel like now that talking about it too, I kind of remember the moment of Canyon being like Booker T kind of being like, I'm going to give you something, bigging him up.
Yeah.
And Canyon being like, whoa, so happy and grateful that he was given the U.S. title.
It's very weird, though,
Yeah.
no? Especially to start your reign like that.
Yeah. I'm not going to shit on Canyon, but I feel like he was he was a interesting
He filled the role.
character. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to show you that clip. I need to see it too for my own good. Because as I remember,
The clip of him giving it to him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Later on, we had a unification of the belt.
I got the people here who had it before
the unification.
Yeah. So
was it many? Oh, I guess there was
about
few.
no
Yeah,
about
sorry, we can talk
about
it,
4.
Yeah.
So Tajiri won it from Chris Canyon, September 10th, 2001. Rhino then defeated Tajiri on September 23rd, 2001. Kurt Angle defeated him on October 22nd, 2001, and then Edge defeated Kurt Angle on November 12th, 2001.
So, in all that being said, none of those stood out particularly to me as a fan during that time of wrestling. You know what I mean? I feel like this title really elevated when it was rebranded later on.
In 2003.
Yeah.
But let's talk about a little bit what they did there with Edge and Test.
Yes. So we had the unification match happening because at this time they were kind of, I guess, coming to a close of a lot of the brand WCW, ECW versus WWEF stuff.
Yeah.
So we had Test, the Intercontinental Champion, fighting Edge, the United States Champion, and winner would, be the holder of both belts. And not in the sense of I'm going to carry both. They literally fused them into just the IC belt after. So it's like they didn't acknowledge the U.S. title was basically gone.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would do that.
What's even more weird is that I was just okay with it because it was something they did. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
because they did it prior
now,
with
like, it's stupid.
European.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, if they did that today, well, they couldn't do that today for one because people would make a fuss. People would go crazy. What do you mean? What happened to the U.S. title?
Yeah.
You just merged them and then got rid of it?
Yeah, like it's different if the guy's going to walk around with both. And, you know, I'd be more okay with that than just, you know, erasing it completely and having, well, here's the Intercontinental.
The only way I would be okay with it is if they merged them both and then created a new title.
Exactly.
To represent like the TV title or something to represent both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The non-world champion. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Something else. No, I agree with you.
And then the lineage goes on from there. When you look at the lineage, it's not convoluted like we have with all the tag belts and everything.
So I guess, yeah, it became the Intercontinental title. And
then it was the Intercontinental title from then on.
Exactly.
So that is the Intercontinental title that we now know today.
Technically, yeah.
Which is kind of weird to think about.
Yeah.
But then
2003.
Yes.
We had the brand split.
Yeah.
And so obviously the IC title ended up going with Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving SmackDown naked.
Titleless.
Mid-titleless.
Yeah.
Which then...
Sounds like a golf ball brand.
We had...
Titleist is a golf ball brand.
I'm not the golf guy.
It's like a mid-title. Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry to get you off the rails.
Stephanie McMahon introduced the new United States title.
Yeah, go check out the clip. It's on YouTube. It's only about 2 minutes long, her coming out with the belt. Michael Cole's reaction is epic. What is that belt?
Yeah, but...
What is that around her shoulder?
It's really weird, yeah.
What belt is she holding? I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It's got the American flag all over it. Like
to his credit, I guess, they had never seen that belt before.
Yeah. No.
That was the first time that version of the belt, your favorite version, callback to the beginning of the show, was displayed.
True, yeah.
To the masses.
But still, like, do you think maybe, hey, is that the Canadian title? Like,
shout out to Lance Storm.
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah, I guess that's a good little quick one to him.
Well, I think you should finish up this.
I'll finish this. Yeah, my ADD. So
no, it's okay. It's okay. We're all over the place as we always are. I'm sure anybody listening loves it. But just, I want you to talk a little bit. Just finish up that Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. So Eddie Guerrero ultimately
wins the tournament
in a classic, in a fucking clinic of a wrestling match between him and Chris Benoit at Vengeance.
Wow.
Of that year.
I wonder.
Now,
if I've seen that match on the Eddie Guerrero DVD that I own.
It's on there.
Yeah, I think that's why as soon as you said that, I was like, that sounds familiar. And I've watched that DVD a lot, so I feel like I've seen that match.
There was a little lying, cheating, and stealing involved in the match. But, like, if you take away not even really take away, but, like, the wrestling before the finish of it was, like, just so good. Like, a really solid fucking match. As always, like, you're going to get with those two guys anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy to me to think that I've seen that match, and I know for sure, I definitely didn't know that it was the first time that title was being defended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because me watching that match, I probably just, it's another U.S. title match, not knowing this is the inaugural U.S. Championship tournament that happened on SmackDown back then.
And I also think it's very fitting that it's two former WCW guys, because I believe Eddie held the WCW version.
When he was in WCW? Yeah. We'll get to that on another U.S. title show.
Yeah, or even a Eddie Guerrero
look back.
Yeah, because that's coming at some point. We've kind of teased it off record, but we'll get to some.
Shout out to Mike. I know you're out there, but if that happens, don't worry. We'll get you in the fucking studio. We might even get your sister on the phone call.
Yeah,
because she's a big fan too. So.
But like, I think it's perfect, right? To go back to have it be those two guys, obviously being solid wrestlers, but two former WCW guys to be the ones to be in the finals of the tournament.
Yeah.
Two guys can tear down the house and put on like I said, a classic. Anybody who hasn't seen it, like, definitely go check out that match between Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit for the U.S. title.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we should maybe make our way into Donovan's list.
The list
of Donovan.
Yes. So this is the top 10 Don picks for the LookBack Show, the Championship LookBack Show.
The Championship LookBack Show, U.S. title edition. Donovan's picks. I might have to make a little jingle.
Yeah, we got to get one. We'll get one.
Now that we got the sound effects machine is fully here.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sing it. I was thinking of something, but I'll
Yeah, we'll save it.
Yeah.
We'll save it for the future.
All right. So, coming in at number 10. So we're gonna go. I mean, obviously, some lists go weird, but I'm just gonna.
We got to
break
go
it
from
down.
10
We
to
gotta
1.
go
If you
from
started
10,
with
yeah.
1, I
Yeah. Right. That's what
who
I'm
wants
saying.
to wait to hear about the last guy?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, number 10. And again, this is my personal list. After my facts and studies, I came up with a list. It was very hard, very challenging. Hate me in the comments for guys I left off. I don't care.
I'm ready for it, Don.
Number 10, Mr. Rusev himself. Oh my God! That's right. That's right. Rusev. Rusev Day, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, man. The guy came out on a fucking tank.
Thank you.
With the belt.
Hey, you kind of took it there. You brought up an excellent point. I'm talking about this reign of Rusev, which is why he makes the list.
And I've talked about it a million times. Anybody who's been listening since the beginning is pissed at this point. But this is when I came in.
Yeah, so you know very well. Yeah.
Mid title reign.
Mm-hmm.
This feud with John Cena is one of the reasons I back up Fastlane all the time.
Yeah.
Because to me, that match they had at Fastlane made winning that title so much more for John Cena with him passing out at Fastlane and when waiting to get to, and then obviously that led into, we'll get to it, I'm sure he's on your list, but the John Cena, the open challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that title reign, it was huge, and I didn't know until I kind of looked into Rusev's career a little bit. I didn't know how early that was in his career.
Yeah.
I didn't know he only I think he debuted less than a year because he wasn't at Mania 30. I don't even think he was on the roster at Mania. He was in NXT.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up because to me that was a huge pitching point as to why I'm gonna sell the people on Rusev being number 10 here on my list. So
I think that's a good pick, man.
He was,
and like I said, he's got 3 reigns and he's only been around since 2014.
And this, to me, I think you could probably agree, is probably the best reign.
Of his?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly wasn't the most recent one that happened here in the end of 2018, early 2019. Yeah, we don't even need the sound effect. There you go.
So, back to the Roo himself. Yeah, man. Undefeated, okay? He was still undefeated at the time that he defended against Cena.
Yeah.
Like his entire reign as U.S. champion, he was undefeated.
Undefeated.
Awesome. I remember watching the entire thing. So this, to speak on it, being a launching pad for guys, great. Rusev's first title. This heel character, man, like non-American. What better way to pick? Like, I was more surprised that they hadn't done this in the past yet. To have a guy like title? This, the non-American with the I guess Lance Storm, we can kind of.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I mean, we got, like I said before, we got matches rolling in the background here with Ivan Koloff wrestling for the U.S. title. So I don't know if he's a champion in this match, but either way, we've seen some of it. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're getting at.
Rusev, a very strong character
and undefeated,
sense.
Like you said, treated very well at this time.
Yeah, the
U.S. title was on an undefeated wrestler for 8 months or whatever it was.
And I just think it's a great way to introduce a guy. Like you said, he was still very new to the company at the time, and to have a guy be the U.S. champion, continue to hold that belt, trash, the country in a sense, and carry that country's title, and that kind of be like, like, none of you Americans could beat me. I remember him saying that too. Like, that was such a great angle and way to do it.
Yeah, he's the U.S. champion, and that was around that when he was still being billed from Russia, and they were really building off the whole Putin thing. I remember all that with the big Russian flag, all those things.
Lana,
Russian
Lana.
Man, I'll bring it up quickly. The one time, remember, I went to that house show I told you?
Yep.
It was like me getting into wrestling, and she came out and she's like, "Oh, this is America's little sister," and I'm like, "What the fuck? Who is this chick?"
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Rusev, number 10.
Yeah. A little more before I brush.
Yeah.
The Tank, I got to talk about that. That entrance is, like, I think one of the greatest WrestleMania entrances. I just love it.
Yeah, especially with, like, the Mother Russia music that was playing, not just his theme. Kind of as he was rolling in, there was, like, Russia music. Yeah, that was an epic entrance. And it was, again, my first Mania in 10 years, or 9 years. So. And
you got to show love in the sense, not you got to, but John Cena, where he took the title after the Greater Heights and stuff, like, it's just... Why not? And to have why not show love to the guy who, who he took the title from.
Oh, exactly.
Because Rusev, the only downside I could say about his reign was that sometimes it did feel a little, in the title defenses, it's like,
he's going to win.
Xavier Woods isn't going to beat him for the title.
But you got to have that a little bit, right? You need your squash matches to build up.
Yeah.
Rusev would have never been able to come out in a tank if he didn't have so many of those definitive wins.
I wish he would have had a few more, like, memorable thinking about it now, man, if it wasn't John Cena at the time, like, I would have been okay if they could have extended his reign until the following Mania, even, like, just let this guy run.
That would have been a long time.
Yeah, but you got to make it real good at that point.
You might have been pushing on Lex's record at that point.
Yeah, but I need that. I'm begging for that, bro. I don't know, whatever.
We got Brock right now with his long runs.
No, I mean with this belt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want the Re-Lex. I want the new Lex.
The new Lex Express.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Are you ready for this?
I am, yeah.
Are you ready for this? Because I wasn't ready for this. Like, this is
Are you ready?
I'm coming. Boom. Yeah, I'm coming. No, stop me. Shout out to Younger because I'm singing. Number 9 is Mr. Montel Vontavious Porter.
Whoa!
MVP. Yeah. What? MVP. What? Yeah, I know.
Holy shit.
I know.
The last thing I would ever get.
I know.
From Donovan.
Yeah. We're not biased here at the PW Lookback, and we do not let personal feelings get in the way of, what's right.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
We certainly do not.
So, I guess I got to pitch it to you. Because
I saw the title run, too.
Did you?
Some of it, yeah. Okay. Not all of it. I think I definitely saw some of it. I can picture him coming out of that fucking blow-up gold house with the U.S. belt for sure and those rectangle fucking flamethrowers. His entrance was really something. They went all out.
Well, he was the, what was he? The highest paid SmackDown guy, like the highest signing. Like I remember that pitch. Him saying that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, when he was, I'm the most paid SmackDown guy, like whatever.
It might have went over my head. I was 12 watching that.
Okay.
But I definitely saw, some of that run.
So
trying to go back to, I think it was 2007 was maybe his first run.
Yep.
Yeah, so I saw that for sure.
He gets a lot of love from me because in doing research, I found out that this was a time when WWE was having title changes on a consistent basis as far as other titles and probably the U.S. title was concerned, like having a lot of quick switches. So maybe you'd have a guy have a title for a month, 2 months, or even less, and have it switch, whether it be World, IC, Women's Tag, whatever, all over the globe, right? All over the map.
Yeah.
So MVP was one of the only guys during that time to have a title and have an impressive lengthy reign, which is something which makes it impressive, you know what I mean?
343 days.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a long time.
Mm-hmm. So in a time and an era as well, like, which wasn't, I don't know, maybe personal, not the best era.
No, it definitely
not the worst. But
no, certainly not the worst, but it isn't one of the best either. I only hold it more closer to my heart because that's nostalgic for me, and that's when I got into wrestling. But no, I totally agree.
But yeah, MVP, a lengthy reign in a time where guys weren't having lengthy reigns, I think that to me is always an impressive feat in itself, and it always spotlights the guy a little more when they acknowledge the fact. And that was something that they acknowledged a lot during his title reign, similar to I got to shout him out, the CM Punk WWE title reign. Yeah. When you're really pushing that as the selling point, oh, we're coming up to day number 300, day whatever, 121. Like, it makes it that much more impressive and meaningful. So yeah. That's why MVP gets the love from your boy Don here. 343 days clocking in.
Yeah. Good on you, MVP.
Yeah.
Dope entrance.
Yeah. Next.
Number 8.
So, number 8. I had to give love here. I don't have a lot of personal information as far as watching live, obviously, at the time, but Greg Valentine.
Oh.
I give number 8 slot to.
Nice. Okay.
The reason I would say that I have to give this to Greg Valentine is because definitely we're talking back to just to let people know. This ranking system here is not just WWE, it's all over, like, yeah, and as with the show.
And this is the US belt, and this is your opinions of this. You know what I mean? This is not like the definitive by any means. This is kind of Don's pick.
I thought that was him. Sorry, we had to look.
Yeah, we got the TV going. No, I think that's our boy Lex there in the background going against Dusty in a cage.
Ooh.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, so Greg Valentine, took the title all over the territories, man, and defended it a ton. And, huge rivalries with Ric Flair, man. Legendary, matches that I need to watch more of as a fan of, both guys.
Yeah.
And as a fan of wrestling in general. And I know Greg the Hammer Valentine, he's always been kind of quoted as, the original Iron Man. A guy that, you know what I mean? He might not impress you in a 10-minute match, in a 5-minute match, but you throw Greg out there and give him a good 60, he's gonna take you on a ride.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back with you and watch some of these.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, he's gonna take you on a ride.
Shout out to Greg.
Yeah, so shout out to Greg Valentine, later known as Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah.
And clocking in at number 7. This one isn't obvious. He had to be on the list for sure. Had to be on the list.
You got to mix him in somewhere.
Yeah. And it's not in a bad way or not just because, but I just think it's very important. Harley Race, the king, the original king, Harley Race, the man himself, coming in at number 7.
The original U.S. champion.
Yes.
First ever. We talked about him at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Kind of self-explanatory in a sense. I mean, this guy was the first U.S. champion. So without a Harley Race, I can't by default put him at number 1 just because of that. I'm not going to do that.
Well, of course not.
So, without him, we don't have the Rusevs, the Gregs, the Flairs, the Steamboats, anyone, right?
No,
so
certainly not, man. The John Cenas, the Booker T's, of course.
And bringing a prestige to it, man, obviously, which he did, because after he had it, look what it became. It was treated like a world title.
Yeah,
at the time.
we talked about earlier again. They treated this was the belt that you would challenge the traveling champion, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
This you'd be representing your space, your territory in the Mid-Atlantic at that time.
So Harley Race.
Yeah, until it went on to the Undisputed time.
Clocking in at lucky number 7.
Number 7.
Number 6. Another legend, another Hall of Famer. Do we have any guesses? No. Do we got a drum roll?
I was going to do a drum roll. Nobody can see me. I was going to do a drum roll, and then I was like, it's only 6. Let's at least wait for 5 before you get too excited, Nick.
True.
Calm down.
That's right.
So, number 6, I don't have any guesses, no.
Ricky
the Dragon.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
The first match of the night we watched tonight.
Yeah. Come on.
The classic from 1975.
Do I got to sell Ricky to people here a bit? I will, but
Point them in the direction of that match we watched and tell them to listen to the women in the crowd, and that would probably be enough.
Yeah, so this match we're talking about from the Mid-Atlantic days of the United States title in September of 1978. Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with special referee Andre the fucking Giant.
Yeah. Incredible match. They didn't have the full thing on footage. I mean, they had some of it. It was shot on actual film.
Mm-hmm.
Film was expensive in 1978, so it's not fully there, but it's worth the watch. And yeah, good.
And
I mean, not that only that match is worth watching, but
yeah, no. So I mean, when it comes to Flair and Steamboat, I think everybody knows about the legendary rivalry they've had. They've both meant so much to each other's career, and I think you can't have Batman without Robin. You know what I mean?
Very true.
So, a Steamboat being that ultimate babyface.
You mean the Joker?
Yeah. Sorry. What did I said? Robin.
You said well. That's why I'm thinking in my head. I'm
Jesus
like, what's
Christ.
the comparison?
Can we edit
there?
that out? No, we're not gonna edit.
No,
that
we
out.
don't edit at the PW LookBack. It's all raw.
Yeah.
Live to tape, buddy. Live to tape.
Let me redo it. Okay. You can't have Superman without Lex Luthor. Okay.
Oh man.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. You can't have Batman without the Joker. You know where I'm going.
You can't have Luke Skywalker without Darth Vader.
Thank you.
That's my kind of reference.
There you go.
Anyway.
So yeah, Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair, man, classic matches. If for anybody who, I don't know, if you're a wrestling fan and you're listening to this show and you've never watched a Ricky match,
my mind is being blown if that's the case. But
go do it, man. Especially Flair and Steamboat, because
didn't they have epic IC matches as well? Later,
the world title
and the World Heavyweight Championship.
The
I feel
IC,
like they
I
fought
don't
for
think
the IC.
I don't think they weren't in the company at the same time there.
Okay. Oh, maybe I'm mixing up with Macho Man.
Savage, yeah.
Either way,
obviously everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Right?
That's probably what I'm mixing up.
Yeah. Ricky Steamboat, though, man. He, like I said, you can't have one without the other, and I feel like him and Flair played very well off of each other, and classic feud, classic matches, brought the title to new heights again.
Yeah, Batman and Robin.
That was bad, eh?
Batman and the Joker.
I'm going to hate myself for that one.
No,
later.
it's good, man. It's funny. It's funny. It's good.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's your drum roll.
Could it be Booker T? Could it be the 5-time himself? No, it's not.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I know. Sorry. I ruined it.
I don't think he's going to crack your
But
list.
it's another guy who does a 5, buddy, and you can't fucking see him.
Woo!
Yeah.
John fucking Cena.
Yes. Are you surprised that I put John Cena in the top 5?
No, not at all.
No.
I was expecting him down there when you mentioned Harley. When you said that it was going to be somebody different, I was expecting you to say John Cena. But then when it wasn't him down there at the 8 spot, I was expecting to see him even potentially in the top 3. I already know. We'll wait till we get to it, but I already know who number 1 is in my head.
Yeah.
But this has got to be the time where we talk about the United States Open Challenge of 2015.
Yeah, definitely. One little thing before we dive into that. John Cena, like we said earlier on the show, held it 5 times, and he's held it the most under the WWE banner.
Yes.
Which is an impressive.
For sure. That's definitely, and that makes sense. I do associate him with that belt. Like you said, he was on his way up in the sense that they gave him his own title as well.
Yeah.
Custom championship, that is.
So yeah, I guess let's dive right into it, right?
I don't know how much there is to say other than if you didn't see the U.S. Open title challenge, I don't know what you specifically can go back and watch, but there was a lot of good matches there.
Yeah.
That was, again, bringing it back. Around the time I got in, I started watching, and every week I was excited.
Yeah, me too.
Who's gonna come out?
Yeah.
You know, I knew that was probably one of my favorite segments of Raw at that time, and I don't know if me and you, we definitely weren't hanging out at that time, I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah, what can you say? What were your thoughts when you were watching it back then?
Definitely an amazing period in wrestling, I think, because at this time, man, like before this, and even there's other little lulls, and even current day wrestling of the U.S. title not being important and not meaning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think to have a guy like John Cena, you know, a popular top guy in the company, former world champion, to carry the U.S. title and to be willing to throw it on the line every week and give younger guys, newer guys, all different type of guys opportunities. Like, come on, that's fucking amazing, man. He was making the title meaningful again. Like you said, you were excited.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
No, I genuinely was every
being
week.
back into wrestling, like that's something like that is going to keep somebody watching week to week, as it did for me and you, and I'm sure a ton of other people out there. It introduced guys like fucking Kevin Owens to us. Like, this is where we had Kevin Owens come up into the main
and
WWE.
step on the fucking belt.
Yeah, man. Like,
and for us, like, if you're to do that, and I don't want to get too current, but if that were to happen now, I feel like it wouldn't be as big of a deal if somebody stepped on that belt, because it's like, what are you stepping on?
Yeah.
Oh, you're stepping on, this is my favorite fucking wrestler, but you're stepping on the belt that Nakamura just carried for a bit, wore as a belt.
Roman threw on his back.
Yeah, and Dean didn't defend.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can see, I see it there.
Yeah.
Kalisto and El Del Rio fought over it. I'm happy that didn't make its way onto this show, but
No, but don't.
Oh fuck.
Don't go
Anyway.
there. Yeah. How do you know Del Rio ain't on number 2 or something here on this
I'm
list?
worried.
No, I'm
Anyway.
just kidding.
Anything else about the U.S. Open Challenge? Maybe a favorite U.S.
A favorite from me,
like a favorite challenge.
the Sami Zayn one stands out.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I have one too.
The Sami Zayn one stands out for me, and I know you don't like it, but the Del Rio one stands out.
When he won?
Yeah, only because that's when Cena lost it.
It stands out for me, not in a good way. It stands out as a... I remember being like, what the fuck? He just won with a half super kick?
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it stood out not in a positive light, but it just definitely stand out. What was yours?
For a more of a positive, I would say Cesaro.
Oh yeah,
Him and Cesaro had some pretty good, and I think they had 2 in a row.
Yeah,
on Raw, and that was the early days. And we'll move on, but that was what you've talked about on previous lookbacks and roundtables. That was when Cena was, getting the attention of the indie marks.
Definitely, yeah.
He was pulling out tricks in the bag that he doesn't normally pull out.
This is when he did the springboard stunner during this era, remember?
Yeah. The springboard stunner.
Crazy, right?
It's crazy to think that was
a thing.
Yeah, but it also feels like it was yesterday, but it wasn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's give an honorable mention to Cesaro just because he had a decent reign. He tried, guys.
Yeah, we'll give him credit there. I didn't see that, but he had some amazing matches with John Cena in the Open Challenge. So, number 4.
Oh, are you ready for this?
I don't know.
Am I ready for this?
Are you ready?
So at this point in time, guys, number 4, we're going to get into legendary status.
Okay.
Steve Austin.
Really?
Steve Austin is number 4.
Now, is that because of Steve Austin himself or because of some of the stuff he did with this championship?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, both.
So
That's what I...
Yeah, you go into it.
Yeah, so that... The reign I'm talking about with Steve here lasted for 240 days. Now, this is a time in Steve Austin's career when he was, like I said, man, a launching pad, proving himself. He was using this U.S. title and to get himself over, to prove himself. Having matches with Ricky Steamboat, fucking Dustin Rhodes. The list
Rick
I
Rude
could,
maybe.
I could go on.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if him. I got to check into that. But you know what I mean? Steve Austin breaking out as a singles guy and being able to put on amazing matches with obviously a guy like Steamboat, who I spoke about a little earlier, right?
Yeah.
And it's Stone Cold himself. If he didn't go through this period, I don't know if we get the later Austin, you know what I mean? He had to go through this era and this stage of his career.
Well, this was the good part of WCW, if I'm correct.
Yeah, this
right?
is very early WCW.
But
Well, not very early, but...
Yeah, not as Hollywood Blondes early, but I just mean this is before he started to get pissed off with Bischoff and walk out and leave and end up in ECW.
Yeah. I think maybe...
Taught him about being a champion and how to...
Yeah.
Be a champion in professional wrestling and hold a prestigious belt.
And being able to... I think, being able to go in there with Steamboat and put on 5-star matches it's a feat.
Did they have some pay-per-view? Not that I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you know if they had any good pay-per-view matches?
I know there's some on this DVD because I think we were watching one before previously.
Yeah.
I want to say they had a fucking Starrcade match.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like if they would have, feuded, it probably would have extended into a pay-per-view. And do you know how or who he lost the championship to after that long reign? 91 days, you said?
I believe that.
It's okay if it's not on the DVD.
I believe it was Dustin. I believe it was Dustin that he lost it to. I'm gonna double check that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you can fact check that. Well, but I Steve Austin. I can't say I have ever, other than maybe that one match we watched together. I can't say I've watched any of his United States Championship run. I love that belt though. Not to get
that version.
Yeah, I really do. Almost more than the new one. I hate to say that to you because I know you love that new one, but that WCW version of the title that he held, just with the little mini American flag, it almost looked like a Texas flag there in the middle. It was awesome. I always kind of loved the look of that belt at least. You know what I mean?
Yes. Sorry guys. Fuck.
Oh, it's all good. If you can't get it up, no worries.
Like I said, I kind of pulled different points for each guys of the title.
Yeah.
There was a point though. I think this might have led to him being pissed off though. I feel like too. So that's another important thing.
Maybe him losing the belt and then
in that 5-minute time span that we talked about. I feel like some of that stuff and afterwards is when it
led to the coffee being thrown.
Yeah.
At Eric Bischoff, or that might have been Eddie Guerrero that threw coffee at him. But either way, or no, Eddie Guerrero got coffee thrown on himself. Yeah. Anyway. Number 3.
Oh yeah. Are you ready for this? This is another.
Is it
one.
3 or 2? 3.
This is 3. Yeah, this is 3. Personal favorite.
That's probably annoying.
Personal favorite, Nick. It's a personal favorite of mine.
Oh shit.
The Ravishing One.
Oh really?
Yeah, because we didn't talk about him. I kind of avoided talking about him for this purpose.
Dude, I gotta be completely honest.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
I thought he was coming out at number 1.
Yeah.
I really did. So now
Rude.
I'm curious who is going to be number 1.
Yeah.
I'm in process of elimination, but yeah, talk on him because I can't talk much on Rick Rude, and this is one of your favorite guys, not only U.S. champion guys, favorite wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Go.
So, I said earlier with the whole stupid Batman reference, but an ultimate fucking heel guy, a career heel is Rick Rude, someone who knew how to get the crowd to hate him. And he's the second longest U.S. champion of all time.
Yeah.
419 days in total he held the United States Championship for in the WCW era.
419, wow.
And he didn't even lose it. He had to forfeit it due to a neck injury, a real serious neck injury.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he probably would have had it for longer.
He
Would have been
might
challenging
he might have-
Lexi's
goddamn.
old Lexi's friggin'
I would have loved it.
reign there. Because, that and it's going to stay, right? Something like that's going to stay for a long time, too.
Yeah, see, I talk about, not to get too off topic, I talk about wanting to have guys surpass it, but like, even if you get close to it, it's good to be up there with the likes of like Rick Rude and Lex Luger's lengthy U.S. title. Even if someone got to like 300.
Yeah, oh.
Well, no, Dean, never mind. But yeah, Rick Rude, man. Sting, Starrcade, we could go back to. I've seen that a few times.
That match?
Yeah. Fuck, he was with Paul Heyman, bro. He was with Paul E. Dangerously at the time.
Oh, with the big cell phone?
Yeah, man.
That's
So-
mint. We should watch that because
I know there's some of it on the United States DVD.
on the DVD,
Yeah,
the one we've
definitely.
got
We'll get to that.
rolling in the back. I feel like this show is a bit of a promo for that DVD.
We didn't get paid.
Go check it out if you want. Yeah, we didn't get paid, but it's
Clash of the Champions, him and Sting. Yeah, it's him and Sting, man. Like,
Clash of Champions, him and Sting. What was the?
oh, sorry, the exact date.
Yeah,
I just kind of brushed over it. I was just saying.
I was gonna say, don't leave me and the listeners
Yes, okay.
hanging here.
Sorry,
now.
everybody. So go watch the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view from 1991, the WCW United States title match with Sting and Rick Rude. Jesus Christ. Wow. That's crazy. I was thinking of the Starrcade match. I don't think I've seen that one.
It's on the cards. We already have the disc.
Yeah. But him and Sting, man, like I said, with the heel and babyface dynamic, similar to Flair and Steamboat, I feel like these two really needed each other, played a huge part in each other's careers, and classic matches with that fucking title, man. I always wish more came of Rick Rude as far as being treated as like a world champion.
Top star.
I know he did have world titles before WF, WCW, and even in WCW a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's someone I feel like
Never got.
I don't know if he always gets his just due. So
Sorry.
I got to give his just due here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Never really got his just due.
Yeah.
But yeah, good pick. I said I don't have much to say about Rick Rude other
Yeah.
than I respect him big. Shout out to his gear. I've always loved the gear.
Yeah.
And the music was great. And I
Yeah.
mean, the guy looked like a fucking sculpture. So shout out to him for that too.
Yeah. So
Number
we're
2,
down
ladies
to the
and gentlemen.
wire here.
We are.
We're down to the wire.
We're going longer than we planned, but fuck it.
It's
It's
all
okay.
good. We're giving the love that they don't. To
Exactly.
The US title.
That's a big reason we're doing this show.
Yeah. So make it great again, guys.
Yeah. Well, I don't use that term. You don't
What?
want to make anything great
Well,
again.
no, I mean, are you sure? Why? Do you want it to be bad?
No, I just mean make.
Oh, fuck that guy. We're not.
That's what I
you know
mean.
I'm
you don't want to
saying.
use that.
And I'm Canadian.
That
saying
acronym. It's not very popular.
Yes. Shout out to all of our American listeners.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program here. Coming in at number 2, it is the Woo!
Woo!
It's a bad woo from me, guys, but you know who I'm talking about.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
The Nature Boy.
Ric fucking Flair.
Yes.
He's come up a lot in this fucking DVD that's been playing in the background for us.
Yeah, and I feel like, fuck, man, if we do more championship shows, Nature's going to come up. He's probably going to crack some lists.
I would say he's going to crack most top 5 lists.
Yeah.
I would say. For the major belts, especially when we're looking back, as we do, at the look back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's all good.
the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, man. The NWA days I gotta really like talk about, because he, as we spoke on so much earlier in the show too, took the title around, defended it, world title status, like a big deal, man. He made this title I feel like as much as Harley Race was important for bringing it to the table, I feel like Flair brought the star power, the limelight to the title.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. Because being that larger-than-life character, I mean, we seen it in that promo between him and, or not even the promo, just when he quickly kind of grabbed the mic.
Yeah, grabbed the microphone in the middle.
Pre-match, yeah.
That match we mentioned earlier in the Mid-Atlantic 1978. They're doing the intros for Ric Flair and Steamboat, and Flair grabs the mic after the girls are chanting for Steamboat. He's like, "You see those? That's my girl. That none of your fat fans over here. That one right there, the one with the tan skin and the blonde hair." It's just incredible. I mean, you couldn't do that shit nowadays, but it shows why Ric Flair was Ric Flair. I mean, like you said, we're going to talk a lot about Ric Flair in the championship lookbacks, but yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean,
Yeah, no,
good, he had a title reigns all over.
Yeah, And like I said, I mean, I don't know if it's an obvious pick that Flair is number 2, but he's definitely well deserving of that position in my eyes, at least.
And as I mentioned, the most reigns with 6.
There you go. Too.
Six
Thank
title
you
reigns.
for bringing that up. Yeah, no, because that's a very important fact too. Like, and I don't really know if that needs to be beaten. Like, I don't think that should be beaten. Like, it's same with how they treat him and the 16-time world title reigns, right? Like, look at this guy. Like, don't do that. They don't need to surpass that. I don't really want to see it surpassed unless it's by something like completely out of this world, which I don't think we're gonna get.
No, we're not. But
we are here, number 1. We are here.
Okay, number 1 then.
Yes,
Number 1.
Number 1. Nelly said, "What does it take to be number 1?"
Is that a song?
Yes, it is.
Oof.
Go listen to it.
Over my head. That's happened a lot lately on the Look Back.
What is it? That's gonna be the intro for number 1. We're gonna get a Nelly clip or something, and maybe every championship look back we will have a little Nelly blurb.
Yeah. We'll figure it out in post.
It's like,
We'll
no,
talk.
I don't want.
I don't even know. We'll talk about it after when we're done recording. Nobody wants to listen to us talk about this.
What does it take to be number 1? It takes the longest reign of all time to be number 1.
The longest.
Not
reign-
necessarily. But yeah, number 1 for me, Lex Luger.
Yeah. Well, I guess we hadn't talked about him yet.
Lex Luger gets number 1, man.
Our boy.
And we are not gonna. I know people. Like I said, people are gonna hate on this a little bit, maybe. But Lex Luger, man, his third. He had the title. He had a few different reigns with the U.S. belt. Yeah, Lex Luger. 523 days. Third U.S. title reign. Amazing, classic matches, man. With Flair, with Sting, with Stan Hansen. Like, I know people want to shit on maybe his WWF run, but like, this guy he was a big fucking deal when he came in. He was a huge deal when he came in. And I challenge people who don't, or maybe laugh at Lex Luger, to go back and watch early Lex Luger, this Lex Luger, U.S. title Lex Luger.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you say come in, this is obviously way before he went over to Nitro and shit.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You mean like early Lex Luger?
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to go back, aside from what we've seen tonight, and go back and watch more of him, because I've seen a lot of his Nitro shit, which I feel like he was older.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah, that was after the even WWF little run he had.
Exactly, yeah. And in WWF, correct me if I'm wrong, was he not pegged to be like the next guy? I think Vince wanted him to be kind of the replacement for Hulk Hogan, and that dish didn't really pan out.
I don't know what the exact reason was. Maybe they just at the last minute, I think, changed their mind, really, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
And they went with Brett, which wasn't a bad choice at all, obviously.
No, not
look at what happened after that guy.
Definitely not. Brett into Shawn, and Shawn into Austin, and Austin into Rock, and here we are.
So yeah, like not. I know people like to laugh and shit about his maybe WWF career, because it was kind of, he did some weird stuff, being that one mirror. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and I'm not too familiar with it, so you'll be all alone on that one.
So yeah, no. Yeah, man, that reign, I don't really think it'll ever be beaten. I would like,
as far as length for the 500 and what was it, 41 days or something like that.
523 days.
523.
That's insane.
Yeah,
like, doesn't that seem unheard of? Like,
it really does. I mean, it's up. Well, yeah, it's up there with the classic title reigns. You know what I mean? And when you got Bruno Sammartino holding belts for multiple years, you can see how or why they would do that, and it just builds it up. Mm-hmm. It just makes it. It's what we talk about all the time. Buying in. If you can buy into the championship, if you can buy into that competitor, and wanting your babyface from your town, or vice versa, to win, then that's what you got to do. And not to get off topic, but in this U.S. title DVD we're watching in the background, Dusty Rhodes just gave a fucking insane flip to your boy Greg Valentine on the concrete, which was, look at the concrete on his back.
Jimmy Cornette out there.
Yeah, sorry to get off topic, but Don's list, I guess that...
yeah, and anybody listening, if you go check out Lex Luger versus Sting for the NWA version of the United States Championship from 1989. Lex and Sting. Two amazing wrestlers. Shout out to Dusty Rhodes, too. Didn't crack my personal top 10, but good runs with the title. He had good runs with the title.
Definitely could have been on there.
Yeah.
But that wraps up Donovan's top 10.
Yes.
With all that stuff being said, Don, I don't know how much shit there is else to talk about. I guess I got 2 things. I don't know if there's anything else you got in your magical book.
No, not really.
No?
We covered a lot of it, yeah.
2 things. I want to just give you a couple names that I wrote down that were one-time champions. There's obviously way more names than what I'm going to say, but these are all just people that jumped out to me that are significant names.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, my boy Carlito Cool, like we talked about, first ever champ.
Mm-hmm.
JBL, one-time champ. Jeff Hardy, Roman Reigns. I didn't talk about him. He was probably some of the more lower, I would say, U.S. champs, just because he didn't do much with that belt.
Yeah.
As well as we mentioned Santino Marella, Dusty Rhodes, as you just mentioned, Harley Race, obviously, but only a one-time champ, which you don't think about, being the first champion.
Yeah.
That he was only a one-time champion, and Dean Ambrose, or not Dean Ambrose, sorry, he won it more than once.
Yeah.
Or no, did he? No, he did win it only once, but it was that super long reign.
Oh, true, yeah. I thought, for some reason, I think I'm thinking of the Intercontinental. Wow.
Yeah. I don't think he won it again. I could be wrong on that one, but either way, those were all names I thought would be worth bringing up as far as, one-time champs.
Definitely.
With all that being said, I guess that's pretty much it here. I got one more little thing for you, Don.
What's that?
This is special. I've been waiting to show you this.
Oh, nice. Didn't even know about this. Moments of the night.
Dun, dun,
Moments of the night.
dun, dun, dun.
Well, it's time for moments of the night, Don.
Yes, and it feels epic.
I told you I was going to make that jingle.
Yes, and to all of our longtime listeners, Nick has been saying for so long that we're getting it, and it is here.
It's here, and
It's fucking here, and I love it.
It's fucking here to stay.
Oh, it sounds epic.
Thanks.
I want to fight.
I'm happy you like it. We talk about them on every pay-per-view look-back show that we do, all the look-back show, basically. Memorable moments are stuff we're going to remember from the pay-per-view or the night of the show we normally watch, but we figured we'd introduce that into the championship look-back and kind of maybe deliver one memorable moment from that championship. Obviously, there's hundreds that could be said, but kind of one memorable moment, something that's going to stick out, next week, next year, tomorrow, wherever it is, however long it is, one moment that's going to pop in your mind when you think of the United States Championship.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the Look Back Show, or if, I don't know what I was trying to say, but you go first.
Well, here we are. I'm going to give, for one, a very memorable, not number one, but a very memorable match to me is, we watched it not too long ago, man. This was between Eddie Guerrero and John Cena, that parking lot brawl that took place on SmackDown for the United States Championship. Memorable match to me, man, as a wrestling fan at the time, being super
With the
young.
cars all around?
Oh, yeah. That was for the U.S. title.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
That's definitely a memorable moment.
As I spoke throughout the show to anyone who's been listening, like launching pads for careers, you know what I mean? This was very early John Cena. Him working with Eddie Guerrero definitely helped a lot. Definitely was an amazing feud. Definitely pushed him to the limits.
Yeah.
You know? So I want to just pay homage to that match. As far as memorable altogether things, Rick Rude, man, to me, I gotta give love to my boy Rick Rude for sure, because having the second longest reign and knowing some of the matches that him and Sting put on for that belt, the Paulie time, the Dangerous Alliance, Rick Rude cracks that spot. Obviously,
just a lot of his moments
me,
in general. Yeah, like I said, it's more just what pops into your head. We just call it the memorable moments, but it's kind of what pops in your head when you think of this.
Yeah.
In this case, being the United States Championship. So.
And I mean, I'm not going to go with the obvious one because I gave him so much love with the music and the thing, but Lex Luger, man.
Lexi.
Obviously, Lex. Longest reign ever.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Myself, I got 2, I guess. One of them's kind of smaller, and it's not really U.S. title related fully.
Mm-hmm.
But the Goldberg Hulk Hogan Georgia Dome match, and that's just because of how big that was at the time. Obviously, I didn't watch it live, but I've seen every fucking documentary that there is to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
And and they just, you know, it was huge. It was a big deal. 2 titles on the line, Georgia Dome, lots of fans. I don't know, not much else to say, really. It's a memorable thing when I think of the U.S. Championship. I don't know if it's weird because I didn't watch it live, but when I think of that U.S. Championship, no matter what, I'm always going to picture Goldberg and that WCW U.S. title.
Yeah.
It's always going to pop in my mind. And the only other one, again, this is just something that just pops into my mind when I think United States Championship. John Cena FUing Big Show at WrestleMania 20.
Yeah. Good.
So,
I'm glad you brought that up, too.
Yeah, him finally doing that, getting the FU done. I don't know if maybe it had been done earlier on a SmackDown or not, but either way, it was a big deal, him FUing Big Show, and John Cena's first title win.
Yes.
In WWE.
MSG.
Yeah, there you,
at
MS, there you go.
Yeah.
So, memorable moments for sure. I'm sure anybody who was there, obviously it's a big moment, but for U.S. Championship stuff, I know we didn't bring it fully, back with a dusty moment or a older moment like that, but we're kind of stuff that we remember, and that's kind of where it is,
Personal favorites. And anybody who's got a problem with the top 10, I got 2 words for you. Yeah.
Just 2 words.
Just 2 words.
2 words for you. With that all being said, I guess that's it, Don.
The 2 words were take care.
Yeah, definitely take care. Thank you for checking us out, Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast. I think we're definitely going to do more of this.
Oh, yeah.
Like we said, obviously. Yeah. But this was fun. It was cool to do. United States Championship LookBack. Stay tuned for more of these coming in the future.
Yes, definitely.
That's for sure. As well as, don't forget to check us out. I can't even speak at the end of these shows by the end of them sometimes. Check us out on Twitter at PWLookBack and Instagram at PWLookBack as well. Send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. Hit up iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, YouTube. All the shows are on up there. Everything that we've done from our original shows is on YouTube. If you want to check out an Intercontinental show similar to this one, much shorter, but similar to this, it's on YouTube as well. Hit the 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe, comment. I think I already said subscribe. Comment, follow, all that good stuff. Check out the website, prowrestlinglookback.wordpress.com. Check out the store if you want to buy a t-shirt or a sticker or something as well. Pro Wrestling Lookback on Teespring. If you want to check me out on Twitter as well, I'm at Salsa, SCELSA. You can check out Younger on Twitter at ZJVY93.
And you can hit me up at JustDon44, and that is 44.
That's it, Don.
It's been good.
The LookBack Show, the Championship LookBack Show, United States title. This is a Pro Wrestling LookBack Podcast, guys. I'm Nick.
And it's Don telling you to stay classy.